Hi, welcome to my channel. Thank you for joining me. So this reading is going to be a little bit different. We are just going to look into the collective energies, okay? We're going to look into this war type energy that we've been hearing about, that we've been picking up on, okay? And I have this banded iron here, which represents Mars, and it represents the warrior, okay? So we have iron here to help us connect to that energy. It's kind of looks nice and rusty, right? Just like Mars likes it. And then we have pyrite, okay, because I actually don't have a chunk of real gold, but we have pyrite to represent coming to light, and then copper to represent energy. Okay, it's actually copper foil, but still copper nonetheless. All right, to represent the energy. So first of all, I think it's really interesting. So if you've been paying attention to the astrological alignments, the things that have been happening, and current events, Jupiter, I found it really interesting that Jupiter, the gas giant, right? Jupiter is a gas giant in our solar system. He is made up of gas. He is very, very gassy, and he is huge, right? So I found it really interesting that on the day that Jupiter came closest to Earth, right? Closer than it's been in like hundreds of years, it kind of teamed up with Uranus, which is, Uranus can be like freak happenings, okay? Just things going haywire, things going disaster, right? All at once, and disruption. So Uranus is disruption. And so I found it really interesting that on the day that Jupiter was seen closest to Earth and Uranus was there with it, you know, we had this situation where there was a disruption of a gas line, right? Because Jupiter represents gas. It is a gas giant, okay? And Uranus represents disruption. So I just found it really interesting that on that very same day, this happened. So we could see how Jupiter and Uranus really played a part in the energy for the opportunity to happen there, okay? I also find it really interesting that around the time of the Aries full moon, okay, we had Aries full moon, which Aries is Mars, the warrior, war, right? And then Chiron teaming up with Aries, which is the wounded warrior, someone who has been wounded by Aries. So Chiron really represents someone who has been wounded by Aries, right? So they teamed up together, the wounded and the conflict that caused the wound, right? And so Chiron always wants to heal, always wants to bring peace. And so I found it really interesting that when Chiron and Aries teamed up, there was a couple people, several people stepping up, talking about peace talks, right? And this war, okay, trying to get people to come to an agreement, come to peace. And so I found that really interesting because in astrology, Chiron actually did meet up with Aries, and Chiron is trying to talk some sense into Aries, right? So I found that interesting as well. Okay. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and check further into this energy. We're just going to see what messages we have here from Spirit. Okay, what we should be aware of in this fog of war, in this illusion, because war is about illusion, okay? You never ever know what's truly going on when war is involved, and it's on purpose, okay? So anything you see or hear is probably not going to be the whole truth, or the truth at all, okay? It could be a complete lie. And this is done on purpose, okay? Because a large part of war is psychological, all right? And everyone has been affected on some level through this spiritual battle, this spiritual war we've been going through for quite some time now, okay? It has affected every single person, and a large part of that has been psychological, okay? So, spiritual energy is mental energy. This is the whole concept of manifestation, that you can focus your thoughts, right? And then manifest something, your goal, whatever it is you're trying to manifest. So this shows us that there is a link between mental energy, psychological energy. Think about the law of attraction, okay? Think about thinking positively and then manifesting your positive environment, positive results. This is the whole premise of the law of attraction. This is the whole premise of manifestation. Okay, so given that we could see that spiritual energy is psychological. Okay, so I feel that there has been heavy psychological attacks. And I think every single person has been dealing with that. And you can actually see that just in your everyday life, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at the changes that are taking place. Okay, I'm going to get a card for the changes that are taking place right now. And I've thought a lot about this, okay? We see this kind of splitting apart of the collective. We see a lot of polarization, but with our age moving into Aquarius, this does represent a change, and it represents the whole, humanity as a whole. That's what Aquarius represents, right? So we see this kind of polarization, but essentially all groups really want the same thing. So we see that everyone wants change, but there is the way to get that change and what that change is, okay, that makes a difference. And so we could see how collectively we all actually are working together, okay, in this soul mission. It doesn't matter what group you're in, what side you're on, it doesn't matter. You're actually working together collectively to bring in this age of Aquarius, okay, to bring in the shifts, the changes that are needed. So we have Fiona and the Unicorn, the gift of sacred sight. This is a number 29. Okay. So there is changes taking place right now, and I feel that these changes are taking place in order to give us foresight, okay, is what I'm seeing here. Knowledge, wisdom, rather. And I feel that many right now are actually getting visions, getting premonitions, getting messages from spirit, okay, about the energy that's taking place right now, what's happening right now. So unicorns help us choose between what is pure and what is polluted. The unicorn's alicorn, which is a spiral horn holding the divine ratio and perfect proportions within it, connects directly to their third eye. At this time, many messages are being drawn directly to your third eye, and so your clairvoyant capacity is growing and opening. This may sometimes be disturbing for you. You may experience flashes of light at night, as though lightning is striking behind your closed eyelids. You'll be able to see the colors and energies around beings, even see who their guides and their etheric companions are. The fairy with the unicorn is magical too. She is learning the secrets of speaking with the crystals. And when this card comes to you, they have a message. And the message is, with your eyes open, it is likely you will begin to see another world superimposed over this one. Energy will form shapes around people, objects, plants, and even buildings. You will see colors and energy fields, orbs and entities. You are able to see what once you could not. For a time, this could lead to confusion, disrupted sleep, and feeling that perhaps you may not be of sound mind. But this is not true. Okay, this is the energy war. The unicorn and this beautiful fairy are here to help guide you through this time. The unicorn will help purify the energy that comes close to you and advises you to drink a great deal of water as you go through this process of the third eye opening widely. You will sometimes feel trapped in a world where you receive too many visions to make sense of, and this will pass. And we will help you through this stage. Ask us what you need to know, and we will do our best to translate the images that you are seeing, the energies that you are able to glimpse so clearly now into words you are able to understand. It is not the time to give in to fear and banish this visionary experience. Accepting it will lead to great healing and the ability to help others. So collectively, this is foresight. Okay, this is eyes being opened. This is awakenings. And not only that, but this is spirit opening people's third eye up, opening up the ability to receive intuitive insight, because everything has been so clouded. And spirit knows that there has been psychological attacks here, okay, on every level, because it is an energy war. All wars are started over energy, okay? So we've seen the wars over oil, okay? We've seen the wars over money, all right? It's always connected to these things. But now it's like it's moved to energy, okay? It's moved to electricity, energy. Of course, our money, we see the value of currency going down, okay? This is another form of attack on energy. We also see people feeling drained, okay? This is also energy. In war, you are fighting under the premise of an illusion. And so that illusion is your cover. Okay, so like part of the rule of war is you do not break that cover. Okay, you keep that illusion up. And so nothing is ever what it seems. And you have to use your intuition to guide you through it. Okay, and I think that people are feeling drained. People are feeling drained mentally, emotionally, physically. Okay, and this is because there are energetic attacks happening on the collective. And I feel like these energetic attacks want to drain you of your capacity to be able to think properly, to see clearly, okay? Because seeing clearly does not help anyone who is involved in war, okay? So Spirit is opening up people's third eyes. Spirit is giving people visions. Spirit is giving people insights to see what's clearly going on. And maybe you are only seeing little pieces of it, but someone else out there has the other piece, okay? Because this is a collective energy. Spirit wants us to know what's going on intuitively. So Spirit is giving the collective the gift of sacred sight, okay? Some of you could be seeing some really harsh images, very strange images, and these images are messages from spirit, okay, about what's happening around you right now. So don't be afraid of it, okay? Because fear also drains your energy, right? Like that's part of the psychological attacks. That's part of the energy war to keep people in fear because you're anxious in fear. Your heart's beating faster. You're breathing harder. You don't have as much energy to conserve for other things, right? So I'm seeing a draining of energy on all fronts. Okay, what else is energy? Food. Food is energy, right? You eat food so that it converts into energy in your body and it gives you energy to do things, right? I'm seeing attacks on food, okay? Attacks on money, attacks on, electricity, attacks on psychology. All of these are energy. This is attacks on all energy, energy war, okay? That's what's really going on. And in an energy war, it's like they want to take the energy away so that you don't have the will, right? So that you don't have the will to see what's going on, or so that you don't have the will to know what's going on around you or even fight back, right? With Fiona and the unicorn. Okay, so what else happens when your energy becomes drained? You begin to think very negatively, right? You begin to think negatively, right? Let's think about all the money, all the food, every source of energy just being gone, being drained, right? You begin to think very negatively, saying, well, oh my goodness, we don't have any energy. We're not going to make it, right? Like that's what you begin to think. Thoughts along those lines. And then what happens? The law of attraction, the law of manifestation, so that energetically, if you attack someone enough energetically, they begin to attack themselves through the law of attraction, through the law of manifestation. So I also see that going on as well. Okay, so it's really important to try to counteract that, okay, through not being in fear. Fear is the number one energy drainer, okay? Fear is the soldier that allows the door to be open for those attacks on every level. So whether it be psychological, whether it be monetary, whether it be whatever it is, fear is what opens the door to that for it to happen. And it opens the door for those manifestations, thinking negatively. Okay. I also feel with Fiona and the unicorn, it reminds me of just a beautiful world, maybe even a fantasy world, right? With Fiona and the unicorn. The gift of sacred sight, number 11. We are entering a new world. We are entering this age of Aquarius, okay? And basically, the way that I see it is it's been shown throughout time that at certain points there will be a revolution in humanity, okay, in certain points in time, and it can almost be pinpointed directly. You can almost directly predict those times, and there's signs that lead to those revolutions. And so basically during these revolutions is when the very small percent of people who have been in power basically are not in power anymore. It is the actual whole of humanity who regains that power in some way. okay, in some way, and then moves humanity forward and progresses in some way, right? So we could look at it like that, but there's always a major change with it. And so we are at one of those points in time, and this is actually signified in the stars as well. We hear about the age of Aquarius. So we are shifting into the age of Aquarius, and never before in time has there ever been a moment where I feel humanity and the collective is so connected, okay? And never has there been a time in history where it is destined and fated to be about the whole of humanity instead of a very small percentage that has been ruling it up to this point. Okay, so basically what we're seeing is the ones who have always ruled things in power trying to grasp hold of this revolution, and really it's an evolution of humanity, okay? It's a progression, it's a step forward, because we can see that through the stars somehow, moving through the age of Aquarius, that somehow through this, it's no longer going to be about the few, right? And that's what the age of Aquarius tells us, okay? So what we see is that very small percentage of people who's always been in power, always had control of everything, trying to take control of this revolution, okay? Trying to lead it in the direction that they want it to go, okay? So that they actually can still stay in power through this revolution. And that is the actual goal. And that's what I feel, okay? So I do feel those very small amount of people who have always been in power, who have caused so much trauma, pain, and chaos in the world, want to take this revolution to a very dark place, okay? So basically, it's like trying to grasp hold of it and lead it, okay, instead of allowing it to naturally happen. So you might see and feel a lot of things that seem unnatural to you, okay? In the state of the world today and things that are happening, it might seem off, it might seem unnatural, because it is, okay? Because it is. Because this revolution that is meant to take place, it is meant to happen, right? I think a lot of people in the collective, especially if you are around my age, you know, you have Uranus there, very close in your first house. And this is really telling you, showing you, right? That's part of your collective soul journey, is to be here during that time for a purpose and for a reason, right? So it's something that I think everyone can feel, especially if you have that placement, which is a generational placement. Okay, so if you're around my age, I'm 37, you could have that placement, okay? If you actually almost the whole decade, right? You could have that placement. If you were born in the 80s, you probably have that placement, all right? Anyways, moving forward. So basically, this group is trying to grasp on to the changes that are taking place, and they want to change it in their way, okay, which is not good for the whole, for the rest of the collective, which is Aquarius, okay? So if it feels like things just are not right, not natural, this is why, okay? Because a natural process that is destined, that is fated, is actually, it's like it's kind of being hijacked, okay? And you can see signs of that. All right, so let's get some more information about this energy war that's taking place on all levels, on all fronts, to every person. It doesn't matter what part of the world that you live in. It's like you are already affected by this. And this is how you know that we have already been in the Third World War. Okay, but it's been psychological, it's been energetic. It has affected your food, your money, your even traveling, right? Even work, okay? Anything that produces energy that you put money into or that gives you energy. Okay? This is why I'm calling it energy war. Five of Wands, conflict, aggression. A lot of aggression. It says here, the treasures of heaven are not negotiations of passion, but realities of intellect from which all the passions emanate. And we have revolutionary. So William Blake is considered a romantic revolutionary, okay, and he was an artist. And he was actually a forerunner of the free love movement, which, if you don't know, was also another, I would call it controlled revolution. It was meant to be a revolution, right, in humanity. But this also was hijacked in a way, okay? And so there's certain things about it that just does not feel natural. Okay, so we see conflict. Conflict with what the world should be, okay? I think everyone has an idea of the perfect world and what it should be. You know, this utopia. And sometimes I just sit back and wonder exactly how many wars was fought over this idea. How many people died over the idea of a perfect world? Okay. Maybe a perfect world doesn't exist, right? Maybe the closest thing to a perfect world we're ever going to get is just to live and let live. So let's take a look at this conflict and see what we have here. Spirit, tell me about the conflict. Nine of Swords in reverse. Queen of Wands in reverse. So we see a lot of mental conflict, sleepless nights, okay? I'm seeing computers. I'm seeing these swords smash into computers, smash into books, smash into, is that a wallet, money? Yeah. So computers, okay? Computers somehow are connected to this. The internet, it is energy, right? I'm seeing a plane here, you know, and there's bombs dropping in the background. So this is what the conflict is about. And I feel just a real devastating vibe here. A lot of these attacks have been carried out online, and they have been psychological, mental. Spirit is saying that everyone's so afraid, fearful of bombs being dropped, but what Spirit is saying, there's already been bombs dropped. Okay, look, another 5 here. 5 of Cups at the bottom of the deck. The bombs have already been dropped, but they have been dropped in energetic form. Okay, they have been dropped on your finances, on your money. They have been dropped on the internet. Okay, they have been dropped on knowledge, wisdom. I'm seeing a book here with a sword stabbed in it. A lack of foresight, a lack of caring. I feel like a big part of this is Yeah, and look, the energy. You know, I feel that a big part of this, because we are in this Aquarian energy, listen, don't think that these people in charge don't follow astrology, tarot, things like that. They do. Okay, they do. They have to. Just looking at the events and things that take place. And the timings, it's just, yeah. But in the Aquarian age, we do have the internet on the side of humanity, right? Because we're able to connect with each other, which is very Aquarius. Never before in history were we ever able to do this. And this is really a signifier in the 3D reality of moving into Aquarius, okay? So we see rainy days, we see water spilled all over the electric, clarifying this energy war. I feel like one of the things that could end up going out is the internet. We have the 404 error here. Why? Because it's very Aquarius. You have to remember, we're moving into the age of Aquarius. We're having this Aquarian revolution, and then there is this group who wants to hijack that revolution. But being Aquarius, this is the way we all are connected to each other, which is what? The internet. With the Five of Cups, this is isolation, feeling very isolated. And you know what I'm noticing about this card? There's so much rain outside, and yet water is spilled all over from the cups. So I'm seeing a spillover of energy, of conflict. It's going to spill over into another area, and I feel like this is going to be the internet. This could be the internet even going out. And then I also heard, we have so much, why do we have to throw it away? So this is like a false sense of scarcity. I feel like, because what I'm seeing here is there's an abundance of water out here, right? And it's not really coming in through here. There's no water, there's no leak in the window. Okay, it's coming from the cups that were spilled. And they were spilled inside. This is something separate from the outside water. So I feel with this card, things happening. Okay, I'm sensing certain events happening, but lying about the place that it's happening at. Honestly, if you want to know what I'm really seeing too, it's internet outages or power outages, and this will be blamed on an accident. But the accident isn't going to make sense. It's not going to make sense. This conflict is spilling over, okay, into a new area. We got the Queen of Clubs in reverse, Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is very jealous. Very, very jealous. Okay. So with the Queen of Wands in reverse, this is someone who only cares about their own means, who are very, very jealous about what others have. Maybe the Queen of Wands believes that she deserves something that someone else has. Okay, the Queen of Wands wants vengeance. The Queen of Wands will take everything from everyone to fulfill her own desires, her own needs. She does not care. She does not care at all how it hurts others. You know, men always fight wars. This is the way it's been. But I can't help but feel there's a woman behind this whole thing with the Queen of Clubs, a very jealous woman. Someone who believes that they are entitled or deserve what others have. And this is like a vengeance energy, okay? I feel a woman behind this whole conflict. I don't know who the woman is, but I feel a woman behind the conflict, okay? It says here, energy is eternal delight. Opposed to the single vision of scientific materialism, against religious and political oppression. So there's an element to all of this with this conflict. There's an element of scientific materialism. There's an element of religious oppression, political oppression, spiritual oppression. Okay. He was also part of the New Age movement. Okay, it's very against organized religion. So we could see that also plays a part in this conflict. Okay, organized religion has a big part to play in here, in this conflict. Artists, writers, has a big part to play in this conflict because, why? Because they hold so much energy. Writers, artists know how to direct energy. Three of Cups, directing energy. The water is spilling down the rocks into a pool. Okay? This is why they're involved in this conflict. Some of them, not all of them, okay? I'm just reading the cards here. Have been directing the energy from those people at the top. So what Spirit is showing me is like the people at the top up here, at the top of the mountain, and then the water flowing down is the artist, is the writer, is the religious leader, and it's spilling all into the same pool. So it's showing me like these artist energies, these writers, religious figures, almost like directing people into one certain pool, into going into one pool. So this is like one idea that has been strewn into three different ideas, but essentially it all leads to the same place. And so I feel like this conflict is on all of these energetic fronts we spoke about, and it is to lead you to this pool. It's a shallow pool. It's shallow. It's hollow. That's what Spirit is telling me. So they've all been a part of this conflict. And again, it's because they are the directors of energy. Okay. They naturally are able to direct energy. Okay. An artist can naturally do that. A writer can naturally do that. A singer, a religious figure, they naturally direct energy. Okay. Three of Coins in reverse. Prince of Swords. Ace of Coins in reverse. Or, I'm sorry, Wand. You know, I feel also a sexual element to this. I'm not going to lie, because I feel like sex really can produce energy. Look, here's the religious leaders here. The Hierophant in reverse. Okay, they're a puppet. They're on a string. Just like everyone else involved in this conflict. All right, we have this sexual element, okay? That sexuality may be under attack because, why? It's energy, okay? It's energy, and actually sex creates energy. It makes new energy, actually, because you're combining two energies to make something new, all right? So there's a natural alchemizing experience that happens during sex. And so we see there's an attack on that as well, okay? Yeah, and you know, this pool, it's like a pool of ideas, but all of the ideas are in the same pool. So they might sound very different, but they still lead to the same pool. And this is true for art. This is true for religion. I see them all leading everyone to the exact same pool through different streams. The Ace of Clubs is abuse, okay? So this is literally energy abuse, okay? And I think it is coinciding with spiritual abuse. I feel the collective has been spiritually abused very heavily, okay? By their leaders, by artists, by writers, by people they look up to, by people they were inspired by, okay? People they trusted. Two of Swords. Okay, advocate of one world state, it says here. You know, you guys, I took down the reading I did in February about the war, but honestly, it didn't help me any taking it down, so whatever, right? Like, whatever, here I am. So we have a historical eugenicist, okay, a social reformer with the Two of Swords. So this is stopping progress and actually moving it backwards, okay? Technocratic utopic society. So I'm seeing this one world state, but what I'm also seeing that it's like they want to create here with this controlled revolution, hijacked revolution, is not just a one world state, but one world mind, a one world brain. Everybody having the same thoughts at the same time with the same opinions. Everybody just walking around like a programmed robot, thinking the same thing, okay? And so with the Two of Swords, it's like they might even believe people have too much social freedoms, too much ability, really, to connect with others, to explore, to trade opinions and free thought. And I really feel this, you guys, with these cards. They want a one world mind, a one world brain. Okay, we got religion at the head of it here. All right, it looks like he's in a little like priest or pope. What do you call him? I forget what you call them, but they're like altars. They're like the chairs. You close the door and you go in and meditate, and it's like a lot of Roman Catholics have it. Anyways, I forget what it's called. If you know what it's called, you can list it down below. The Open Conspiracy. It says the Open Conspiracy, the New World Order, the shape of things to come, a modern utopia, war games, floor games, little wars. So yeah, this isn't just about a global state or being connected to each other on that level. And this is the way that they're trying to hijack the age of Aquarius. Okay? They're hijacking the age of Aquarius by saying, fine, Aquarius, we're going to take over the whole. How about that? Okay? We will actually try to control how people think. Not just a one world state, but a one world mind, a global brain where everyone is just a cog in the machine of a bigger AI that has been programmed by them. They want to turn the collective into this. Okay, we see eugenicist here. Listen, people have been so open about this. I'm really just kind of tired just sitting here and not even talking about it, because in the spiritual community, I have seen these readers worshiping the Georgia Guidestones, okay? Putting them up on their profile, taking pictures, standing next to them. Do you know what you're backing? Are you really into eugenics that much? Like, are you really into eugenics that much? Do you even know what that is? Maybe you should look it up, because it's so horrendous. I can't even explain it to you here on YouTube, how horrendous that is. Okay, it is genocide. It is wiping out entire populations, races of people, and I cannot believe that people who call themselves spiritual or back this. Do more than back it. I'm sure some of you have seen them. But yeah, that's what it's really about. So you want to know those people standing there in front of the Georgia Guidestones or putting those up on their pictures? They're eugenicists. Period. Straight out. They know what it is, especially if they're reading tarot and stuff, and they're okay with it. Furthermore, they back it. Okay? That's the truth. So basically, anyone who doesn't conform to this one mind, they feel cannot come into this brave new world that they're creating, right? Anyone who doesn't conform to that one mind, because it's a one world mind, okay? Maybe it wasn't even a one world government they were trying to create. Maybe it's always been this one world mind, okay? So you see like approved opinions, people not wanting other people to talk, things like that. That's why. This is actually why, okay? Let's get another card here. Another Five of Swords. So in this card, he's hiding under his weapons, hiding behind his weapons, okay, with the Five of Swords, and it represents cheating, lying, okay, it represents stealing. We got the Ten of Coins in reverse. Hiding behind weapons, hiding behind money, okay, with the Ten of Coins in reverse. This is a loss of abundance, a loss of finances, okay, cheating, stealing it, stealing money, stealing finances, okay. I feel like this is one world mind. You don't need to be able to use your intellect or your mind to make money, right? That will be a thing of the past. That's according to this timeline. That would be a thing of the past, okay? Because no one will actually be able to think for themselves to be able to make money, all right? So this is why they're like, well, we're just going to get rid of money, okay? You just will have nothing, all right? You'll just not be able to buy anything. And it also gives them the opportunity and the excuse to just steal everything from everyone with the Five of Swords. I can tell you one thing, anytime the government acts like they're your friend, you should really be concerned. Like, especially if they have been actively, like, working against you for, like, I don't know, the beginning of time. You know, maybe they've been oppressive or whatever they've done to you. You might want to think after so long, when they automatically switch and try to convince you they're on your side, you might want to think to yourself, hold on, something doesn't sound weird, because when the government wants to harm you, okay, they act like they're your friend. That's just the truth. Okay, so let's see what else we have here. I'm going to pull just a few clarifiers. I wanted to try to get some predictions here, but I see Spirit just really wants us to see what's going on through this illusion, okay? I know it sounds ridiculous, but look at what's going on, okay? Listen to what I said. Look at what's going on. Does it fit? You be the judge. Okay, we have invitation, party, event. Tell me about the Five of Wands. We have Wicked Witch. Okay, so with the Wicked Witch here, this is defeat and triumph. So this is literally like that, the war here with conquest. Okay. And you know what? This is a war on the mind. This is a war on your mind and your energy. Okay, make no mistake about it. It is very, very clear. The cauldron, nourishment, goddess, creation. So again, it's like enough of this negative energy, you'll just start to manifest the negativity yourself. Your mind will literally start to attack itself. So it's very important to nourish your mind, okay? Know that you're not alone, okay? You're not alone. And other people see what's going on as well, all right? And just feed your mind good thoughts, okay? Connect with people who make you feel better, okay? If you have to turn off the TV, turn off the TV. There's nothing good on it anyways, you know? Let's see. If you have to shut the computer off, shut the computer off, okay? Remember to nourish your mind. Think of something that makes you feel good, okay? At least every day. Especially when you're going to sleep and when you first wake up. Those are the times when the portal is most open for manifestation. All right, so we have Jack-o'-lantern, warding off evil, light, and guidance. We have witch trials at the bottom of the deck, accused, attacked, and misunderstood. We have virus, okay, infected, at risk, tainted, and we have voodoo doll. So, Spirit is asking you to really protect yourself energetically, spiritually, nourish yourself. Okay, you have to give yourself energy. Your energy is being depleted collectively, okay, slowly but surely. And so, you have to take in extra nourishment. What does that mean for you? Okay, what does that mean? So, it depends on where you are feeling the most vulnerable. Maybe, it is your mentality that's suffering, okay? Maybe you're thinking negative thoughts. So nourish your mind with something positive, beautiful stories, maybe stories of, you know, love, truth, justice, even, okay? Those types of stories, all right? You will begin to feel your energy coming back. If it is emotional, if you've been feeling really sad, angry, depressed, nourish your emotions, okay? Do something that's good for your heart. Forget about all this stuff and spend time with someone you love. Have a conversation with someone you love, okay? Nourish your emotions, nourish your heart. Okay, if it is financial, if it's your job, money, find a way to nourish yourself, okay? That's a symptom of your energy being depleted, okay? So it's a symptom of something needing nourishment in your life, whether it be mental, emotional, okay? Maybe it's physical. Maybe you need to eat better, maybe exercise more, okay? This is also nourishment. You're nourishing your body in that way. So with virus and witch trials here, along with voodoo doll, mimic, okay? This is showing me a spiritual virus. It's not physical. It's not going to make you physically ill, although it could, okay? But this virus is spread through computers, through the media, through thought. Okay, this virus was created at the top because think about Aquarius, okay? Aquarius is everyone collectively joining together, uniting, right? So the best way to stop that, what would it be? To send out a spiritual virus through media, through TV, accusing each other, attacking each other, misunderstanding each other, seeking conquest over the other, okay? Mimicking, copycatting, everything. Those that are trying to hijack this revolution wants you to. So you're doing the work for them. And this is why it's so important not to engage. Try to understand, right? That we all are here for the same purpose. And we might be, there might be things you don't agree with, right? That the collective is doing. But know that it does have a purpose, whether you agree with it or not. In some way, there is a purpose for it. Okay, and that's something I've learned from doing readings, from, talking with people, that even though there's something you don't agree with, and you might not see a purpose for that person doing it, there is a purpose for it, and it is a divine purpose, and you might think it's silly. You might not agree with it, okay? Some people don't agree with, I don't know, the whole, activism thing with climate, things like that. Some people don't agree with it. Some say it doesn't exist, right? Regardless of if it does or not, there's still a purpose. There is a purpose for people advocating for that, and there is a purpose for people advocating against it. There is a purpose, and it is their purpose at that time. Okay? I really feel that. And whether it's to bring about a greater purpose, a greater knowledge, a greater insight, is to be seen. But I know that everyone is acting according to their purpose, but those purposes are wanting to be hijacked. Okay? So I hope that makes sense. So let's just get a few more cards. Yeah, lack, doubt, okay? Lack of energy, doubting yourself, doubting each other. So I feel it's like you're being energetically attacked, but it's like you're blaming the wrong person for that attack. It's misunderstood. And this misunderstanding, these accusations, this wanting to dominate and conquest the other, is a virus. Ace of Wands. So the Ace of Wands represents energy. This is a lack of energy, okay? Caused by doubt, anxiety, conquest, accusations. Yeah, we have Jupiter here. So we do have this new beginning we're moving into, okay? And what we're basically seeing is everyone fighting for control over this new beginning, this new world, the age of Aquarius. So let's get some advice here. Jupiter is a very protective energy, okay? So with Jupiter, it's asking you to have courage, to know that you're protected, to not doubt yourself, okay? To not fall into this lack mindset in any way. Nourish yourself, nourish your spirit, nourish each other. And if you have felt infected with this virus, which I feel like all of us have at some point, because it is a spiritual virus where you just don't understand, where you feel the need to attack or accuse someone who don't agree with you, okay? Know that that is spiritual virus, okay? And it can be cleansed. It can be cleansed through nourishment, through courage. Duality. You've known the worst, okay? Now start prepping for the best in your thoughts, in your mind, okay? Okay, this is too much. So start prepping for the best in your mind, in your heart, and let's manifest some good things, okay? So emotions are very high, very heightened right now, and this is being used even against you, okay? So I feel like, again, with witch trials here and emotions, this is accusations, attacking people in order to stir up emotions, in order to heighten emotions, in order for people to take action without thinking, okay? So Spirit's saying don't do that, okay? Don't do that, because that means you are being controlled. Okay, and Spirit is saying when you're infected with the spiritual virus, your emotions are going to be like haywire. Okay, you're going to be feeling angry. You're going to be feeling rageful, misunderstood, and you're going to want to argue and attack with people and accuse them. And You're going to feel hurt. This is a spiritual virus. It can be cleansed with nourishment. You need nourishment. If you feel that, know that your soul is looking for nourishment. And that you're looking in the wrong place to find that nourishment. It's just leading you to more lack. Remember to stay in a place of love. Remember love. Remember to stay in a place of love. And love for yourself, okay? Love for mankind, for each other, right? So, I'm going to pull one more card. So this is about nourishing each other, loving each other, okay? In order to combat this spiritual virus. So know that anytime I see something in the spiritual, it's only a matter of time before it spills over. So of course, into the physical. So of course it can be changed. All right. But I'm seeing a virus. Okay. It's in the spiritual right now. All right, so Spirit, please give us a message of love. Give us a message of love. Okay. So you have the dance of the divine feminine. It's a number 42, which is a 6, which is about balance. And 6 is the lovers. It's about love. Love can defeat this, okay? Love can destroy this war, all right? Love can destroy this spiritual virus. If a tree could move from one place to another, it would not suffer the pain of the saw or the oppressive wounds. If the sun and moon stood still like the rocks, they could not offer any brilliance. How bitter the taste of water would be if the river stopped its flow, remaining still like seawater. When the seawater rises to become a cloud, it loses its bitterness and pours the rain of sweetness. So this is speaking about moving out of the stagnant energy, okay, allowing love to transform you, okay, allowing that water to become a cloud and to lose the bitterness within you, to let it go. Let go of the bitterness, let go of that anger, and see the sweetness of what's happening. Feel the connection with each other again. Feel the connection with the collective, with Source and with Spirit, because we are all so very connected right now. I have given you only a few examples. You can figure out the rest. Break away from the self and enter the kingdom of love. How can your feet bear to be still when the music is so lush and inviting? How can you hold yourself back from the tide of love when the horizon looms so vast and exciting? How can you not arch your back and respond with ecstasy to the lover's touch, saying in absolute submission, yes, more. You were made to move and to grow, to love and flow. Even mountains do change. Surrender the stodgy ways of the mind and become willing to dance to the great orchestrations of love with everything and everyone around you. You may feel unsettled, as though the ground beneath you is not so solid. You may touch it to see. Is it moving? Of course. It is hurtling through the skies, spinning, tilted on its axis. It's amazing. You aren't passed out on the floor in utter dizziness, yet you stand there, imagining you have a choice of not moving. What funny foolishness. Let us laugh about it together. How can you even imagine it? Only through some misplaced fear. It is such a small craziness, really. You can cast it off, that small crazy fear. Let it return to the Mother Earth to become fertilizer for the far grander and more exciting insanity of divine love instead. Give up that tiny insanity in favor of the greater craziness of love. You cannot be unmoved by it. The rhythm of life will get you shaking your hips eventually. How could you not become entranced by the gleaming dance floor, shimmering with possibility and invitation? And look, you do have this invitation to leave conquest behind and enter the invitation of divine love, of the dance of love, the dance of the divine feminine, right? This oracle comes to you with guidance. Your life may feel as though it is being tipped upside down. Perhaps you feel as though the great beloved, in a feisty mood, has grabbed your ankles, is holding you upside down and shaking you wildly until your skirt is over your head or the pockets of your pants become freed of their contents, keys and wallet dropping to the floor in disarray. Your hair is messy, your bottom is in the air, and your sense of orientation is nowhere to be found. Blood is rushing to your head, and goodness knows you just want to be put down to have a moment to come to your senses. So the beloved will give you that gift. You're going to get that gift, but you must surrender to love, because only in love will you see the truth here. But don't imagine it will last for too long. The great beloved esteems you capable of so much more than being sure-footed and sensible. You are capable of more whirling and stumbling, whilst inspired by the music of the spheres. If you just accept the great invitation to dance, there won't be so much roughhousing going on. It won't be needed because your hair will already be in a mess. Your blood will already be pumping. And you'll be sweating, laughing, smiling, and dancing. The great beloved will be alive in you, which is all that grand seducer ever wanted in the first place, even with all the jokes and the horseplay. So there's a better way to express this aggression, this frustration, okay? Dance instead of fighting, right? Disarrayed and disheveled by the divine beloved, you are able to break out of a too ordinary world. You will explore the delightful consequences of rocked boats and upset apple carts being swept away by love as you dare to dream bolder and wilder dreams for yourself and the world. There is bigger magic for you to weave in this lifetime. Prosiac priorities inherited from the world are stuff and nonsense. It is the priorities of the heart that actually matter to you. If you are ever to right yourself whilst the beloved is tipping you upside down like a soaring bird in most impressive aerial dynamics, it will be through establishing the right priorities, the priorities of your own heart and not anyone else's. So this situation is full of messed up priorities. So is it your priority to hurt, to fight, or is it your priority to love? Which is the bigger priority to you, love or hate? It really, really is that simple. Ask your heart what matters the most to you and attend to that and that only. This is how you nourish your heart. Soon you will be able to find your orientation, even if everything you have once held on to appears to be shimmering and insubstantial, a mere dance of light rather than solid gold. This will become so easy for you because your orientation will flow from within, from the heart, and no matter what shifts and changes take place around you, your center will remain strong. This is what the Beloved wants for you. Such peace and relief it shall bring to you. But perhaps some shaking about is required first, in case you are reluctant to give up some mainstays, unaware of how much they actually drain your life away from your heart center. This oracle brings you this message. There is something you are holding on to. A person, a place, a thing, a belief, a vision. And you need to let it go because it wants to grow. It may grow and change into something utterly different, or it may grow into exactly what you are imagining. Whichever outcome, growth is happening, and you'll find you enjoy the way much more with greater flow and support and less bashing of your head against the proverbial brick wall if you can't let it happen. Don't worry if it seems as though your world is coming to an end or you are losing something you once loved. This is just the shaking about of the great Beloved to lead you into deeper, sweeter dance of divine being and becoming. Put your focus into your heart and realize you are more ready than you think. Now, shake those hips and stomp those feet. Close your eyes and clap your hands, and you'll be feeling better already. So we are meant to step into the dance of the divine feminine, okay? What do you think the divine feminine prioritizes? Do you think that she prioritizes war? Or do you think she prioritizes love? So connect with your inner divine feminine. She will show you the way. She will show you the light. Okay? So that's the reading that I have for you. I hope that it could help at least someone out there. You know what? Let's get one more card, okay? Let's get a message from the angels before we leave here and ask the angels how they are helping in this situation. Okay, if there is something we can look for from the angels. Okay, so this is number 24, another 6. Okay, balance. The angels are working to restore balance, okay? And this is Angel Jehudiel, angel of work and confidence, okay? It's about purpose, efficient, motivated. So the angels are saying they're helping people to find their purpose, their true purpose right now. not the one that was given to them by, we saw these three pools of water, these three streams leading to the same pool, leading people to this pool. Okay, that's a false purpose. That's a false sense of purpose. All these little rocks in the pool that have been led there by the water. So the angels are helping people to find their real purpose, okay, their true purpose. And they are helping people to feel motivated when they are feeling drained. And I think that they're working with purpose and motivation together, giving people a purpose to feel motivated for, okay? The angels are giving people new ideas, new projects, and are working at top speed, okay? The angels want you to know this is their top priority and that they are very focused on bringing balance back spiritually, energetically, but they cannot do it alone, okay? We always have to ask for the angels' help in order for them to help us. So the angels will help you and the collective with projects, with choosing a vocation, with finding your true purpose. And they will help you when you feel overwhelmed with that purpose, okay? The angels want you to know that by spring, this warring energy is going to be over, all right? At least in the way we've been experiencing it, all right? So this is the reading I have. Thank you so much for joining. I'll see you soon. Bye.